Hey guys, just a quick reminder that you can check us out on Reddit r/SplitViewPodcast or on Discord, link is on YouTube, and we're also on Apple Podcast and Spotify and also YouTube. Okay, thanks, bye.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, you guys?
No one's gonna get that. No one's gonna understand that. Jody was like, "Can I do the intro? I have such a good joke," and I was expecting
Such a funny one. Hey, what's up, you guys?
Hey guys.
Welcome to Split View.
Okay, cool.
Geordie is weak. It's still funny. 41 weeks
though?
later, it's still funny.
I was sipping on a drink and I had no facial
on
reaction.
the drink.
Okay.
Yeah, Geordie is weak. Do you have anything to talk about?
Not really.
Okay, well, you probably should, because today I'm getting heavy, man.
Okay.
I'm getting more heavy than I usually am.
Just PlayStation 5 and Xbox shit. That's
PlayStation.
constantly
You know
recurring.
what? Just hit me with it right now.
Oh, apparently insiders are like, oh yeah, the Xbox is going to be really fucking cheap and really goddamn powerful. You're not going to expect how powerful it is. And
Really?
every time I hear that, I'm like, yeah, but shit games.
Yeah, like I can use all this power to play fucking what?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Sorry, that's my rebuttal to
It's
that.
fucking terrible. Why would you? Anyway, I don't even know what to say to that. It's the equivalent of saying like, oh well, this Windows phone has like the best specs ever. It's like, yeah, but it's a fucking Windows phone. Like, I don't want that shit, man.
Do you remember when Samsung were like, yeah, we're going to release fucking Galaxies with Windows OS on it, and that lasted literally a year because Windows OS fucking failed.
It's so bad. I don't know how anyone was okay with it.
It was terrible. I mean, the interface wasn't bad.
That was the worst part about it. Don't try and fucking give it any
the worst
credit.
part is that no app developers made apps for it, so it was just a dumb phone.
Because it just looks like fucking Tyler's dream. Everything's a fucking square, man.
Okay,
I
cool.
fucking hate it. It's so boring. I don't know why you... I mean, it looks like absolute shit.
I didn't like using it, but I had to use one for a while since I didn't have like a smartphone. I had like a cheap ass like Lumia 630, which is you literally get it from Telstra for like $100. The one cool thing you could do is that it would link up with your carrier, and you could buy stuff in the App Store using your carrier's credit card or carrier's like data.
That's kind of cool.
So if you paid for like a $30 data plan, you could use that $30 as credit.
Interesting.
If you didn't use it as data for
That's kinda cool.
for Play Store and all that. So
I think I had one of these fucking tablets which had the Windows Phone OS on it for some reason. I think I bought it
Okay.
for like $100, and it was fucking awful. You had to look at it directly on to see anything.
yeah, but that's a hardware problem and a software issue.
No, I know, but it only made it worse because I was trying to use the Windows
Okay.
OS. Like, it was so not Windows, the Microsoft Phone OS thing.
Windows phones were the first phones to have like badass cameras. Like there was that one that had just a huge chunk on the back.
Yeah, I
and it was-
remember that. That was fucking cool.
It's like
when
a
that was
40 or
going
50
around.
megapixel camera. That
Yeah.
was amazing.
I mean, that's still not even bad now to have on a fucking
Well,
phone.
It's because the image sensor was so large. Like we have like 100 megapixel cameras now, but the image sensor isn't that big, so it's not that much light.
Exactly.
Yes.
Shall I get into my topic?
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what we're talking about today, Tom?
Funnily enough, I don't, because I'm not telepathic.
That's true. Today we're talking about murder. We're talking about murder.
Okay, I think
Murderers.
They said modems, and I was like, oh wow, I have a lot to talk about. Actually,
And now you have nothing to talk
let's
about.
talk about dual tone multiple frequency signaling and orthogonal space division for
Let's
access.
not fucking do that. That sounds fucking
Those are
boring,
real
my
things,
friend.
by the way. I know a lot about modems.
I'm sure you do. And I would have no way of refuting if that was true or not.
Yeah.
So you could have said anything and I
like-
would have believed
It's
you.
like when I talk about physics and you're just kind of like stone faced, or when you talk about Buddhism
Yeah.
and I'm like,
When have I ever talked about Buddhism?
there was this one part where you started talking about Buddhism, and I think I literally went just like PTSD flashbacks for
funny.
about 10 minutes straight.
I think it would be cool to be a Buddhist.
Okay.
I haven't looked into it.
That's what I'm
enough for
talking
that.
about.
It
This
seems cool to be. Anyway, today we're talking about murder. We're talking about people who go crazy. People who are
The Joker, baby.
pretty much. First question, Tom.
Yeah.
Because of course I just give myself a bunch of questions, then I
Okay.
just ask them to you. So that's how I do it, you know. Why do people do this, man? Why do people do fucked up things like rape and murder? What are the factors? Tell me.
Sex, money, and drugs.
That answers none of them.
That's the main like fucking motives, you know.
That's if you're a fucking rock star. That's your motives.
No, those are like the main things. Like, Geordie, I've watched a lot of Forensic Files. I'm kind of an expert on criminology.
I see.
My biological dad actually took a course on criminology, so I think I just know a bit more.
And also the guy sitting opposite you.
Yeah, but you haven't finished it though.
Okay, well that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, what are your serious reasons for?
Pretty much that. Like, you have a bad relationship, and it's like, hey, I really fucking hate my ex-girlfriend, and she's a bitch, and I have so much emotional attachment. Let me murder her. Or, oh my god, I'm a poor person. I need a lot of money. Oh, like this person has a lot of money. Let's kill them for the money. Or, oh, I'm on drugs and I don't have a correct mental state and I'm taking things that aren't marijuana that are actually painful and like not good for your mental state, and they make me want to kill you.
It's interesting to me because you could ask an entire room full of people that question and it would be different.
Yeah.
Because it's, for me, I would say like if you were born into a terrible family, because there's actually a multiple number of factors. I think it's something called the something triad, where when you're a kid, when you're growing up, if you show signs of any of these three, it's likely that you'll grow up to be into criminal behavior type.
Is that kind of like sociopath or like neuropath kind of thing?
That type of deal, yeah. Do you want to guess what some of them are?
I guess child abuse, poverty. I mean, they're all kind of like general things.
It's for the kid themselves. So one of them is, I believe, arson. So if you're as a kid, if they show signs, if they want to light stuff
like
on fire,
torturing animals is
that's another one. Yeah. And the third one is bedwetting, I think. Like excessive into a point where it's not normal.
God. Oh no.
yeah, liters of fucking piss every day. As in like past what they should be doing it. I'm like, if you know they're 9, 10 and still wetting the bed.
I was implying that I still wet the bed. That's why I was like, oh god, oh no.
I'm a fucking murderer. Because I still piss the bed.
This stuff is interesting to me because murder is one of those things that's like, it's
fucking fascinating, but you don't want to be fascinated by it.
It is the most terrifying and strangest thing because like the most, I've talked about this a lot, the most terrifying thing in life is death.
Yeah.
Because death is the absence of the thing that you are always.
Yes.
So the fact that another human being can end someone else's life is absolutely
that easily too.
Yeah. Intentionally.
Yeah.
I'm going to intentionally end your existence.
And that's probably a terrifying will not think twice about it.
Yeah.
If they were to do it to you.
I guess.
Now let me ask you another question. Why is there not as many serial killers now as there was many years ago? Well, even like 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago.
I mean, the easiest way to kind of fucking explain that is like forensics and criminology has gotten better, but I know that's... I mean,
but that wouldn't stop people from still wanting to do it.
I guess the internet maybe has something to do with it. Like, people have different outlets
somewhere else.
Yeah, they're different outlets. Like, it's kind of a contentious issue, but playing violent video games, it's like, I don't know, it's therapeutic in some way. I don't want to get into... I think we've talked about this maybe. We have talked about
it, but I think it's valid. But
yeah,
there is actually a theory behind this.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know about the lead theory?
If you eat lead, it tastes good and you die?
Not quite.
Okay.
So
that's also true, though.
Okay, well, I'm sure. What do you mean it tastes good?
Lead tastes really sweet.
Does it?
That's why babies die from eating paint. That's why fucking Romans used lead plumbing, because it tasted sweet as fuck.
Fair enough.
Lead literally tastes sweet. It tastes like candy.
Huh. I suppose if it looks like paint too, like, yummy.
Oh, yum, paint.
Paint, yeah, this tastes good.
What does that mean?
This looks nice and colourful. I'm a child. I'm going to dip my finger in that and give it a good old taste.
Okay, more like child is trying to like explore shit and, oh, look at this aberration on the wall. Let me grab this and put it in my mouth because I'm a baby. Oh, this tastes sweet.
Everything is globular mass of things that my eyes are perceiving to no degree.
Dopamine influx. Oh, do more of thing that gave me dopamine.
Yum, yum, yum.
Dead baby. Okay, go on, yeah.
Okay.
The lead theory.
Tell me, from a few years ago, right? Let's go a couple of decades back, maybe 1980s.
Okay.
What was everyone using to paint their house?
Paint?
Paint with what in it?
A paintbrush?
With lead.
Yeah.
And then what was everyone using to fill up their car?
Fucking
leaded fuel.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And lead was in so much fucking stuff back then.
Lead causes neurological issues, I think. Yeah, okay, I get you.
Bingo.
Now. Yeah.
There's actually a connection between this, and there is
it's a heavy metal. It binds to your axioms or whatever.
Because there was so much of it going around, like everyone was filling up. All these cars are chugging fuel, right?
Chugging that lead.
It's painted everywhere.
Yeah.
It's in the pencils. It's in fucking everything, right? There's a genuine theory that like that was what was causing kids, like if you're a kid exposed to this, here's a list of some of the things.
That baby I was talking about, cold-blooded murderer.
He's Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't murder anyone.
Okay.
But
Geordie.
he didn't. He didn't.
You can categorically say he caused the deaths of other human beings.
But he technically didn't murder anyone.
His direct actions influence people to kill someone.
That's true, but he didn't murder anyone.
I mean, I was going to talk about correlation does not equal causation, but this is definitely correlation equals causation.
Obviously, he deserves to be fucking locked up.
Yeah.
Forever.
And then
is he dead? I think he's still alive.
I don't know. Well, thankfully, Death Grips can get more samples to make music with.
That's true.
That lead theory, right? I haven't looked into this. This is not something.
Let me tell you some of the things that can cause if you're just exposed to lead.
Yeah.
All right. So individuals, this is from Wikipedia. So,
okay.
You know, individuals exposed to lead at young ages are more vulnerable to learning disabilities, decreased IQ, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and problems with impulse control.
Okay.
So if you have...
When were video games invented again? I think we should ban all video... Do you know that microcontrollers have lead in them, Geordie?
Really?
That's not true, but...
Oh.
Okay.
All of which may negatively impact decision-making...
Okay.
And leading to commission of more crimes as these children reach adulthood, especially violent crimes.
They're too stupid to not kill people.
Not too stupid, it's just that they don't have the impulse control.
Yeah.
If they're around this much lead, and obviously this isn't the case, otherwise literally everyone would be purging each other back in the 80s, you know. It can't be that massive of a problem, but it stops you. So if this kid has this thought, there's nothing, if his impulse receptors or whatever are not functioning properly, he's going to go like, I'm going to kill this person, and then immediately does it without thinking about it.
It's knowing that killing or murdering is bad is something that's half learned, half instinct. Like, you need to be taught that the stove is hot, and the way you do that is, I don't know, touching the stove, or like witnessing someone touching the stove, or your mum telling you. So that's a pathway in your brain that needs to be activated to not do this action. And with the lead, that like destroys or weakens the neural links. So when you want to go to murder someone, it's less of a factor, this like learnt thing that murdering is bad. So
see, here's the thing though, they may even know that it's bad, but do it because they can't help themselves.
Yeah.
And it was very fascinating because I was listening to a crime podcast or something, which mentioned the lead theory, and that's what made me want to do this episode, because I was like, hey, we talk about fucked up shit every week.
Let's talk about lead.
Let's talk about let's just fucking go right to the goddamn point of why I wanted to even make a podcast about this type of shit, because this is what got me into thinking about human psyche and all that type of shit. Makes me sound way more fancy than I fucking am, but is like this type of shit. I'm studying criminology. I want to become a detective. This shit interests me to a fucking very high degree because I don't understand it and I want to understand it.
Do you want to understand why people kill people though? Isn't understanding it make you want to cause to kill people?
Well, I guess, but I just want to know because I recently rewatched Mindhunter. That's what I've been watching.
Did you notice the lady is just orange in some scenes?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I just literally, she's just either wearing a wig that's fucking obvious, or her face is just completely orange. I don't know if it's the color grading or they fucked up her makeup.
It is the color grading, because that show is color graded very strangely.
I don't know if it is, because the skin tones of the other people in the scene look fine, whereas she just literally, she has the same shade that Trump does. I don't get it. Like,
I didn't notice it at all, but I definitely did notice it being that obvious.
Someone pointed it out to me, and then I just fucking started noticing it immediately.
Well, now I'm glad that I've already watched it again by the time that you said that, because that would have been fucking annoying to look out for.
Yeah.
But I've recently been watching that, and I'm like, a dream job of mine would be to be in the behavioral science unit of the FBI or something. Like, that just sounds like the fucking most interesting day job you could ever fucking have to me. Doesn't it?
To you, probably, yeah.
To me, because I'm a little bit fucking crazy, but
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit that, because it's just like, it's so fucking interesting, and I don't want to sit in a desk and punch in numbers every day when I could be visiting Charles Manson and having a chat to him, you know?
Okay.
Anyway,
I guess.
that lead theory, I reckon it holds a decent amount of weight.
I mean, correlation does not equal causation,
No,
Jordy.
no.
There's a billion other factors in play, and it's proven that lead affects your cognition and of impulse control, like you said, but I mean, there are other factors, like there are new developments in technology and all that.
Yeah,
so.
it is exceptionally,
Yeah.
like outrageously harder to get away with a crime now than it would be even 10 years ago, maybe
Yeah.
even. And it's purely because of how fucking quickly we are ramping up forensic technology. Like, you could have a fucking microbe and tie that to someone. I don't know, I'm just making that shit
Yeah.
up. Like, you could have the tiniest fucking speck of DNA and match it to someone now, whereas that would be
Yeah.
useless 20 years
You
ago.
had to have like a fucking liter of blood back then to be
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
do a DNA. That's not even like an exaggeration. That's
I know.
legitimately how much you had to have. And then nowadays, a single like cell with DNA can
Yeah.
be resequenced into a bunch and then analyzed. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I dare say that would be one of the deterrents for it. But
Yeah.
here's another fucked up thing for you to think about. There are murderers out there who aren't being caught.
There are people who go on online forums and then talk about eating each other and then arrange
Yeah.
play dates to eat each other. And they get off
Did you
scot-
watch that or hear about that? There was some documentary about that exact type.
the German dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that shit.
Did you watch it recently? Is that what made you think of that or something? Because I haven't watched
I've
that
seen it.
recently, but I remember I couldn't turn that off
I think
when I was watching it.
I don't think I just literally like stumbled upon it, like one of those kind of markup things on 4chan and shit. And it's like, hey, here's the literal link to the Wayback Machine website, and you can just literally read the website about the dude telling what he fucking did. So
Yeah, and
You
the
know.
funny thing is that they were both just cool with it.
yeah.
And-
He got angry. He was like, "Make sure you cut me up, fine, okay?
Yeah.
Make sure you can cut me up."
Yeah, that was like the most fucked up thing to
Yeah.
hear when they were telling. I think there was a documentary that I watched on YouTube or something, because that guy's still alive. I'm fairly sure.
I think he's in prison, obviously.
I don't think he is.
I think.
I think he got off on some loophole
Okay.
because there wasn't like any cannibalistic laws where he was or something, because they just never expected it to happen.
Yeah.
And I think he's just at his house right now. Like
Okay.
on probation or something. I don't know.
Right.
I could be making that up. But what I do remember is in that interview, after he had done it, he was just sitting in his house with a reporter. Like, so I don't know.
I mean, you can't.
We also can't go off my memory that much,
Okay.
can we?
I don't know if you can consider him a violent person, though. He's just kind of mentally deranged, I guess.
I mean, I guess he
Mentally-
didn't go out of his way to kill people.
I mean, he did, though. Like, he
I mean,
went out of his way
didn't,
to
he didn't
arrange.
prey on people. He asked someone, and that other person wanted it to happen. Does that make it okay?
I feel like there's just like Geneva fucking laws against this kind of shit. Conventions.
Crimes
you know?
against humanity type.
Yeah,
deal.
yeah. The worst board game ever, or card game ever.
Have you ever thought about the death penalty before?
Oh yeah, we've talked about it. Remember?
We have, haven't we?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Where did you stand on
I'm
it?
categorically against it because I think life is the most sacred thing in all of existence, and you should cherish it no matter what. You should keep. I mean, yeah, killing someone can prevent other deaths, but we can isolate someone so that they can't kill other people. I think that any loss of life is not okay.
I'm a little bit more. I don't agree with the death penalty because I'm too cruel. I think that's an easy way out. I think if you've killed, if you're fucking, again, let's go with Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Like the Manson family killed like 8 people or something. If you've done that, you shouldn't be able to just die and be done with it. I think you should have to fucking live with that.
I'm not one for like the retribution aspect. I'm just the one in terms of like the prevention of loss of life. Like he's gonna be punished whatever way, but I don't believe that killing someone is retribution for a death. I think that's the less deaths, the better. You know,
I can see what you mean.
I don't believe in an eye for
philosophy to
eye.
have.
I believe like just preventing as much damage as possible. So
I see. Yeah.
he should be locked up, and he is forever. I don't think he should be murdered or killed or executed, because that's another loss of life, and I believe life
Ultimately,
is sacred.
we lose so much life every day. We don't really need to lose any more, do we?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I don't obviously understand why people do this.
Yeah.
And when they do, I feel like they need to be made to think about it. But the irony is, if you did do it, chances are you're not going to be that affected by it, because you've already, unless there's the odd case where a guy freaks out and kills his fiance because he wants to have sex with another lady or something.
Okay.
And then he's like distraught or
The
something.
only way out.
Yeah, the only way out. And then they do feel bad for it. But I feel like a lot of these serial killers,
Yeah.
they don't feel bad. I mean, do you know about Ed Kemper?
Maybe?
He is the guy, he is about 6'9",
Okay.
and he
jeez.
was a fucking big dude. And he...
I know about Ed Gein, but not Ed Kemper.
Ed Gein, yeah, he's classic. But Ed Kemper, he was around the same time as Manson, I believe. He was killing around that same time. And his mum brought him to the point... She just had it out for him, right?
Yeah.
So she just kept fucking telling him that he was never going to get a girlfriend, he was horrible, he needs to die, he should kill himself, all that type of things. And then he ended up going around killing, like, co-eds, killing girls in school.
Yeah.
And then he would decapitate them, and then fuck the heads.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
how does a person get to that point is what fucking fascinates me.
There are so many things
Because
that you learn.
no one knew for years
Yeah.
and years. He was just living his life, and no one knew that he was fucking severed heads. And finally, as his final act, he did it to his mum, and he humiliated her and fucked her throat.
It's like a
after
Binding
cutting
Isaac
her head off.
situation.
Yeah, and it was like, he got caught because he was sick of running away. He could have gone on and on and on.
Yeah.
He never got caught. He was just like, I'm kind of bored.
Okay.
Police come and get me.
I mean, he's obviously like a psychopath. Like there are so many things you learn. A genetic memory, like literally your brain is just created, like birthed with the inability to do this. Like literally you have genetic memory that killing other people is bad. And then your mum teaches your dad is like, hey, don't hurt animals, don't, be kind to people. Like there are so many things that should stop you from doing this. So the fact that he can do that and like get an erection while fucking a skull is horrifying.
Yeah, that was the only way that made him fucking nut. And then he would go back to the sites where he would bury them, and driving by them would make him bust. Because he would just know that they were there.
That's horrifying.
And then he would go back and just sit there and then jack it and all that type of shit. Until, he literally got to the point where he was like, you know what, come get me now. I'm kind of sick of this.
I've heard some
and
people
he is an
think...
extremely astute man.
That I was going to say, I've heard some people think that psychopaths or sociopaths are the next evolution of humanity because they're able to separate emotions from actions. Like, he can be a normal person, have proper relationships, and speak, and you wouldn't know, but then he can just shut off his, like, emotional centers, impulse control, and just do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Like, he has the ability to do that.
It sounds good in theory.
Yeah.
To have this.
You need those things to survive in humanity, though.
You do. And, like, the thing is, like, I'm talking from maybe when I'm having a sad time or something, and, like, I want to be able to turn that off. But it is these types of people who become the most, quote-unquote, successful serial killers.
I guess.
Because you just never know. So many of them are just fucking... Do you know about BTK? I'm not going to go into all these fucking...
Sounds familiar.
Horror stories, fucking criminal, like there's so many podcasts you can listen to, and I would do a true crime podcast, but it is so oversaturated that I was like,
that's
when Tom and I were coming up with it, we're like, nah, we'll do something a bit different that we both kind of know
like
about.
90% of podcast, the fucking
literally more than 90. I would say
podcasts were made famous by that fucking that one about the dude in prison where Serial or whatever it was.
Serial, yeah. Serial is
that's
like
what
the
fucking
godfather of true crime shit, and it's so interesting to see that so many people are interested in this.
Yeah,
and yet again, no one wants to admit that
It's
they're
a
interested
morbid
in this.
curiosity, obviously.
It is. And, like, I'm beyond the point of caring whether people know that I'm interested in this sort of stuff. Because ultimately, I know they are too. They just don't want to talk about it. Because how can you begin to understand this type of stuff? But BTK, he had a wife, kids, whole family, and he was a little bit more stupid. I think he killed like 18 people or something. I could be making this up. I haven't brushed up on my history that much recently.
How do you feel about arsonists? Do you feel like
arsonists? I was recently. I'm doing an assessment at the moment on Ivan Milat, who is the only real Australian serial killer. And
like gatekeeping serial killers. This guy's not a real serial killer.
No, he's not.
He's
the only famous Australian serial killer.
It's like gatekeeping it.
Well, okay. Well, I guess I am then. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, and a lot of the others were just arsons because there's not many. We had to do a big case and do a case study on a big case. Arson has, I think, a 17-year imprisonment term for it. Actually, it might even be life as well. Like, I remember it was really high. But think about this, right?
Yeah.
Arson is, as we mentioned earlier, one of these points on the triad that leads to, criminal behavior.
Yeah.
But even as an adult, if you're doing it, it takes one fucking match to completely ruin a life.
Yeah, one well-placed match, at least.
Like you could, if you burn someone's house down who is in a bad financial state, they're done.
Yeah.
They're fucking done. Like, because maybe you can't afford insurance, right? That's it.
Landlord's
you have
done,
fucking
maybe.
nothing.
Yeah.
Instantly. And hey, who knows if anyone's inside, right? But ultimately, no. I think arson should have as much of a punishment as murder, because you can murder their life, so to speak, without murdering them. You know what I mean?
It's an elegant way to put it.
And I don't like that at all.
Okay.
Luckily,
wow, that's a surprise.
Luckily, arson. I don't feel like arson is as big a problem as murder.
I've heard a lot of firefighters are arsonists just because they feel like they can.
I've heard that too.
They can know the ways to put it out, or knows how to start it, know how to cover it up.
I remember listening to a case on one of the many true crime podcasts that I listened to of a firefighter.
What about
who was
false
doing
crime podcasts? Where's the market for false crime podcasts?
I mean, I thought about that. I thought, wouldn't it just be funny if someone just has a podcast where they just make shit up? Because who would really know?
That's just murder porn. That's what that is.
That is what that is. I'm sure that's a fuking subreddit, and I don't want to know what it is.
It's a South Park episode.
Is it?
Informative murder porn. It's where all the parents watch true crime shit and they start murdering each other.
Oh, God.
It's a really good episode, actually. The fucking kids lock out the cable boxes with a question called "How do you tame a horse in Minecraft?" And then there's a scene where they go into a basement and a kid teaches the adults how to play Minecraft. And insert Minecraft joke here. Why do I have to punch wood? It's actually really fucking good.
That's fucking.
And
funny.
they start murdering each other in Minecraft and jacking off to it. They'll build a fucking tower and push them off. Be like, oh yeah. And they call it informative murder porn.
Fair enough.
It's a good episode. You should watch it. I think that's the title of the episode as well.
Is that the one that has the fucking picture of what's the dad's name? I don't remember. Stan? No, that's one of the
that's
kids.
What he says. Stan. Can you
the guy with the blue shirt.
Randy Marsh.
Randy.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he's covered in fucking cum in his chair? Is that the one?
No, that's the internet one where they run out of internet, so they go to a fucking Red Cross camp, and the internet's a metered thing, and he can't jack off without using internet porn, so he sneaks in, and he hasn't jacked off in a month, so it's just an explosion. He's like, oh my god, a ghost came through here, a spooky ghost. I'm covered
That's
in
one of the earlier
ectoplasm.
seasons, isn't it? Because I think I remember watching that when I tried to watch all
I
of
think
South
it's
Park.
season 6 or 7, maybe.
Yeah.
It's 20.
I did get somewhat far when I was watching it.
It's 24 seasons, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is the most famous serial killer you can think of, Tommy?
Well, you've said him 5 times. Charles Manson. Yeah.
Did you know that he makes some fine music?
Do you know that Hitler painted?
Have you heard Charles Manson's music?
No. Have you seen...
Can we play it?
I guess it's just gonna be silence unless I do a record. Is it
Can we play it on
copyrighted?
the show?
Is there any fucking
He's on Spotify.
Is there any record label that would literally go out and copyright claim you for playing Charles Manson music? Is there any record? Oh, I was gonna say, is there any record label that stooped down to that level? But record labels are fucking demons,
They sure fucking
succubuses, but they don't look hot.
are.
Are you gonna really do this?
2017 by The Power of Scorpions is the most recent. That sounds like a record label.
Who's the drummer from the Beatles?
I don't know. Oh, everyone's gonna fucking kill us for that. I don't like the Beatles, so
I don't either. What is it? Randy Starr? No, is it Randy Starr?
I have no idea. Ringo.
Oh yeah, Ringo. He fucking paints, and he makes the worst paintings I've ever seen.
Oh, doesn't he have a website and they're all
Yeah.
fucking hot trash?
They're like MS Paint paintings.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember you showing me that many moons ago.
Yeah, I don't think we can play Charles Manson music because
Okay.
I think there are publishers who literally would claim us for that.
You know what the fucking thing is?
Yeah,
It's good.
I
He
mean,
makes
yeah.
good music. He was what he wanted to do really was be a fucking singer. He wanted to be in a band because he was so goddamn annoying,
charisma.
and I mean, no one fucking wanted to be around him for that. He was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get everyone high and start killing people.
I was gonna make a joke like he's so annoying he drove people to kill other people.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but it wasn't. He manipulated people though.
Yeah. And I remember hearing that while he was in prison, he said that was the best time of his life. That's the best time of my life. When I was in prison, playing songs for
I
everyone.
had that. Hey, people didn't know that was the best time of my life.
Yeah. He was like,
go-
that's when you're on time to feel alive. When you're playing a song for another person.
Is that, you know, the intro to like ex-military Death Grips? It's like,
That's one of-
I had 10 to 50 women. I babes. You think I want to go record label? I had that. I think that's Charles Manson.
That is him.
Yeah.
That's him.
That's what I was saying at the beginning. Like, he's still alive, so Death Grips can still
Yeah.
use the samples.
He makes like kind of country pop music.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
And I just checked now. The song that has the most fucking... He has... How many monthly listeners? 31,700 monthly listeners.
I mean,
And his most famous song has 1.7 million.
KSI has like 2 million monthly listeners, though, so.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he also didn't fucking murder a bunch of people.
Allegedly.
Oh, yeah, allegedly, yeah. But I just thought that was so funny that, like, these monsters can be, like, just also have a band.
I guess.
Like,
yeah.
it's just funny to me. I don't know.
Ed Gein had a fucking like upholstery fucking workshop, and he would make fucking beautiful
Yeah,
lamps.
he also
and shit.
made fucking tit belts.
That's what I'm saying. Like he just the people just do shit, and then they're like, oh, let me combine the shit that I wanted to do with my fucking murderings. You know?
Imagine being the fucking team who walked into Ed Gein's house. Have you seen pictures of his house?
I've watched.
It's fucking horrific.
No, I don't want to see them.
No, you-
'Cause I don't want to see fucking humans.
I remember when I first got into true crime, after looking at that desensitized me to just about everything, seeing
Okay.
that. Because it is fucking nuts seeing a nipple belt and fucking tits on the doorbell and
Yeah.
all that shit. He was a fucked up man. If anyone here is interested in true crime stuff, the two podcasts that I listen to quite religiously is Crime Junkie and Last Podcast on the Left.
junkie.
Yeah.
Bit of a crime junkie.
They're two very almost, dare I say, annoying girls.
You say the last podcast on the left?
Yeah, that's the other one.
That's the one with the three dudes who
Yeah, the three guys.
talk over each other and yell really fucking loudly,
Yeah.
right?
But they're fucking hilarious and I love
They're
them.
not true crime, are they? They're
Yeah,
just like
of course they are.
they're just in. I listened to the Alien one. Like that's not true crime.
No, they got famous from doing Jeffrey Dahmer,
Okay.
Ed Gein, or if any fucking serial killer you can think of, they've done episodes
Their
on.
audio production hurts me on an existential level.
What do you mean?
They have no low end to their tone. It's completely mids and highs, and it fucking hurts to listen to.
You might have listened to an older episode or something. I never really have
listened
much
to the
trouble,
Alien-
but I'm also a bit of a fucking, I don't know, I don't really notice it that much.
Okay, I really am irked by like audio stuff. Like I really am.
Suppose you would be, wouldn't you? Yeah. If
What does that mean?
That means you're a fucking audiophile bitch. I don't know.
I'm not an audiophile.
No. Says the
Okay.
guy who has the fucking audiophile headphones.
You're
quote
wearing
unquote.
them. You're wearing them right now. We're both
I own a pair at home.
These
too.
headphones are amazing.
Yeah.
These headphones have such a nice low end. Like these, I was listening to like Half-Life.
It's like a perfect replication, right?
They're studio monitors, but they have a range like that they can replicate, and usually it's 20 to 20 kilohertz, whereas these are 8 to 20 kilohertz. So low end shit. Like I was listening to the Half-Life 2 fucking ambient soundtrack, and there's low rumbling, and it literally hurt to listen to.
Yeah.
Because it was fucking resonating in my brain cavity.
Yeah.
Like it hurt.
It's cool when that happens, as funny as it is.
Yeah.
Because it's like, fuck yeah, this is how it's supposed to be heard. And that's what I remember when I think I talked about this on the podcast when I bought my Sennheisers.
Yeah.
I was like, I rediscovered music pretty much. When you have a good pair of headphones,
You have reference headphones as well.
yeah, like you can just fucking anything you listen to just sounds godly.
You're literally listening to it to the way that the creator made it.
Yeah, you can almost imagine them being like, "Oh fuck yeah, that's the track. Like,
Yeah.
play that shit now one more time before we release it," type deal. And it's something else, man.
People found another Mick Gordon Easter egg in the Doom soundtrack.
Really?
You know how on I think Mastermind or Cyberdemon, if you looked at it using a spectrogram, you saw like 666 and pentagrams and shit. In the intro theme for Doom Eternal, if you set it to mono in like a door or something, it literally is like fucking Captain Crunch whistles, because he made like the screams so perfectly off phase that they can bind into a separate song. So if you hit mono while listening to it, you hear like do 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 do, like really like funny like ice cream van whistling. It's really
funny.
Yeah,
God, he's a madman.
yeah.
He's seriously a fucking neurological madman.
I don't know how to feel about the Doom Eternal soundtrack though, because it doesn't sound.
It didn't leave an impact on me.
I mean,
at all. Really.
I've listened to it. I prefer it over the original one, just because
Really?
I've heard the original ones so much that it's kind of bland to me now.
Yeah.
The only ones I re-listen to the original are like Olivia Pierce, Rip and Tear, obviously, and Cyberdemon or BFG Division.
Yeah, BFG Division. I fucking love that song, man. Gets me talked up.
Yeah, the Doom Eternal one. It's the way it's mastered is fucking terrible. Like it just sounds like shit. Like it really sounds bad. And people like there was a big controversy. Like, oh, you know, Doom Eternal. Mick Gordon didn't get to master it. He only got to master these tracks. I think the mastering he did was objectively bad. I think he didn't have enough time to properly master it. And this isn't even like... This is not my opinion. Like, he literally didn't... He was fired from Bethesda because he didn't complete it in time. So, I love his music, but the Doom Eternal soundtrack, its release is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I fucking love him as well.
I almost just spilled Monster Energy drink all over my laptop.
That was a funny face he just made. But I was thinking about Mick Gordon the other day, and I think he kind of reached his artistic limit with the first one. I think he had all these great ideas. He made that fucking killer soundtrack. He had the time that he needed. And then he was like, he didn't know what to do from then. He had everyone jerking him off, praising him, and it got to his head, and he didn't really know how to follow it up.
I think he was,
and I can completely understand that.
I think he was at 90% with the Doom regular soundtrack, Doom 2016. I think he did apex with the Eternal one. Like I have a different opinion because the regular Doom sounds so tame. Like it's just like maybe 3 tracks like drum. Bass and then guitar, you know, like chainsaw.
Yeah,
he interpolated a fucking guitar with a chainsaw sound effect, which is the fucking most metal thing I've ever heard.
Fuck yeah, it is, dude.
Like the regular Doom soundtrack is like pretty tame to me. Like you have synth shit. Doom Eternal, fucking like it is the perfect music for that game. I feel Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal would be completely different games without a soundtrack. So I think he peaked with Doom Eternal.
Because here's the thing. When I was playing Doom Eternal, there was very few moments where I was slicing a demon in half and I felt cool because the track was cool as well. I felt like they weren't... The ones that he had, when it did work, it worked fucking well, and it made me go like, oh, fuck yeah, this is why I play Doom.
How did you play Doom Eternal, though? Like, what... Were you, like, balls to the wall constant, or was it, like, more measured?
I was pretty constant. I was zip-zapping around with the dash and trying to cut people up as much as I could because I like the chainsaw thing. It's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you would rip someone's skull off, I wanted to drop on BFG Division or something. or one of the cool ones. I just didn't feel like the songs that they cut to when that happened, because all the music's responsive in that game. Obviously, that's what makes it so good.
Stems.
And it just didn't have the punch that I was used to with the first one.
I think it did. I think you just didn't have the volume loud enough.
That's possibly it.
Yeah,
that's possibly it.
Because I think it worked fucking flawlessly. I loved playing Doom Eternal so much.
To be fair though, I can't play that game for long periods of time because it fucking I get a headache because everything looks identical and it's really loud and there's always screaming and all that shit, and I'm just like, yeah, I've had my fun. I'm gonna go probably do nothing now and then play again later.
It takes me a while to warm up when I play Doom Eternal. Like, I'll suck at first and then I kind of get into the groove and I'm like, constant action. Like,
yeah, and then you get in the groove.
Doom Eternal blows Doom 2016 out of the water to me. Like, Doom 2016 was so safe. It was like, oh, people fucking hate the Doom franchise because of Doom 3, which turned into a horror game. We need to make something safe. So like, okay, let's make constant action, but like 5 demons on the screen at all times. Let's get tell McGordon, oh, we don't want guitars, just have nice synth noises and all that.
Yeah.
And let's make it all oh, Doom's from hell, so let's make it hell themed. And they made it pretty safe. Like, it's the perfect game they could have made. Because if they made a Doom Eternal, I think people would be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon you should play Doom 2016 before you play Eternal.
Yeah,
and then with Eternal, it literally just cranked it up to 11. Like, you have to do so many things to play that game. Like, literally, you have to be pressing 10 different buttons to be able to just survive. I played it on the hardest difficulty, so I don't know if my experience was different.
Yeah, Doom 2016 is the fucking lube, and then the new Doom Eternal is like the fucking bad dragon gaping. Like cool. Like it's you are right in that metaphor. Like they made the game they wanted to make, and I fucking respect the shit out of that. I was
confused. Like, I didn't get Doom Eternal before it came out, because I saw the rad suit, the old style health kits and the power ups and the one-ups.
I didn't like the GUI. I remember when we were watching previews
it.
And stuff. Yeah. The GUI was pretty bad to me.
I get it now.
I still don't like it.
I get it though. Like, it's not meant to be serious. It's meant to be it plays a lot like the original Doom. Like, the original Doom had the rad suits, the power ups, and all that. It's meant to be like a throwback. Essentially, it's meant to be literally
it's a game that's meant to be played for fun, not to get your money. Essentially, Like, I don't think there'll ever be DLC for anything for that game. Is there?
Except multiplayer DLC.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of like, this is the game. This is the fun that you would have if you kept replaying it on all the older ones, except now it looks nicer.
Feels kind of rushed, to be honest. Some decisions were kind of strange to me. Like, I could feel parts of the plot that were moved around and were kind of weird. And watching the demos, it starts differently. It's really odd. There seem things that I can literally, you can see and feel that have been moved around story-wise, and it's kind of odd.
The story didn't really take, and I don't really play these games for the story, I'll admit that quite comfortably. It didn't take with me.
I do 50-50. I'm pretty big into the Doom story, just since I love Doom so much.
Speaking of story-based games, what just came out is Horizon Zero Dawn for the PC, and I highly suggest anyone who has played that. I could never get into that game I've never finished it. I couldn't get into it on PS4.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to try it.
That's like Death Stranding for me. I haven't played Death Stranding in months and months. I really want to fucking finish it because I love that game. Even though I haven't played it, it has an atmosphere and a tone that I'm just yeah, I'm into this game.
Yeah.
And I just can't, I don't like controllers, essentially.
Me neither.
I don't want to sit down and play it. And the thing, it's on PC now, Death Stranding and Horizon, since they use the same engine. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
They use the Decima engine, which is fucking incredible on
God,
a technical standpoint. The thing is, it looks incredible, and it's incredible to use for developers, and it plays incredibly. It performs incredibly. But I don't want to buy Death Stranding on the PC because that'll invalidate my PlayStation purchase.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
I don't want it to go to waste. I bought literally the Death Stranding PS4 to play Death Stranding.
You might use it again, or you can just sell it.
I'll definitely use it again. We played fucking Outer Wilds on it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
and one of I was thinking about maybe getting Death Stranding for PC, because I never really played it, and I think it was because I can't connect to it if the TV's really far away and I'm using a controller. I don't really like using them that much. The only time when that, like, where I've fully played a PS4 game recently was Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Which was because it was so good that I couldn't stop playing it.
How would the controls work for Death Stranding PC? Because you got to hold the triggers to hold your weight.
That's a good
Is it left
question.
and right mouse button?
It would be.
Because that'd
it
be
would
weird.
be. That's what it would be.
That wouldn't feel right. What if it's Q and E? You know, WSAD, and then use 3. That's confusing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be able to do that.
Because that's like, that's part of the game, is like feeling like you're fucking Sam, you know?
I guess we'll have to find out, won't
Yeah.
we? Well, I have one more question before we wrap up and go. And that is, and this might be a bit of a longer one anyway, or it could be a very short one.
Okay.
Which is, why do you think it is so popular, like crime shows, true crime podcasts? Why is it so popular?
I think it's the ultimate taboo. I think it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you know, death, like killing someone is an easy way to solve your problems, and it's kind of a fixation for some people. I want to hear your opinion on this, because I don't know if I'm in the same.
I think it's an insight into a world that they know nothing about. It is.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate taboo. It's like, I have completely no reference for what this is like.
Yeah.
Shows like Breaking Bad, all these shows that have done so well, Mindhunter did incredibly well,
Yeah.
is because it's so foreign. And yet we know this stuff happens.
Such a human thing, though. Like, it's the ultimate human thing, yet it is so foreign.
Yeah, and everyone secretly wants to know about it and wants to hear about it. So when these shows and true crime podcasts come out, people continue to be like, oh, geez, that's fucked up. Like when someone retells the story of Ed Gein, I don't think there's many times where you would go, oh, fuck, that was all right. Why? Yeah, that was all right. You know? You'd be like, what the fuck was he doing?
Okay.
You know what I mean? It continues to be fucked up. And that's why it's a genre that's never going to die. Ironically, is the murderer genre.
Cool.
Because, you know, people are interested. That's the ups and downs of it. And I'm doing the assignment that I'm doing, plus that podcast which mentioned the lead theory, is what inspired me. So I will leave you with this, people. If you are interested in this type of stuff, watch Mindhunter. Listen to the podcast that I mentioned earlier. And I don't know, if you keep being interested in it, there's fucking millions of things you can do to look into it. It's real interesting. And if you don't want to like be prejudiced by your parents and have them kick you out because you're like one of those fangirls who wants to marry Ted Bundy, then maybe don't go into it. Because there is a lot of people who would like that.
Yep.
Anyway, see you later. Bye. Don't kill people.
Okay.